What's going on, everyone? Darkside Phil here, and welcome to Release Day Unboxing for June 26th, 2012. And what we've got for you today are two retail releases. Also going to talk a little bit about my schedule this week, what I'll be doing, as I usually do in the Release Day Unboxing videos, to clarify a couple things, because there may be a couple adjustments based on some things that have happened over the past couple days. But let's not get into that yet. Let's talk about what games came out this week. First, we've got Spec Ops: The Line, which is a game from, I forget the primary studio who worked on it. It might be Jaeger, I think. I know 2K Games published it. But a game that I actually played the demo for several months ago. I think it was about a month and a half ago. And I was pleasantly surprised because it's a third-person shooter. It's squad-based, but you can actually command your squad to do different things. It seems that you can actually have different outcomes depending on what you do. I actually heard there's two different endings to the game, so once I beat it, I should probably replay like the last mission or the last checkpoint to see what the alternate ending is. Seems pretty interesting. Set in Dubai. Dubai's been destroyed by a giant sandstorm that no one expected, and basically martial law has been enforced there. So you've got military groups trying to take over. You've got people who are from Dubai who are trying to basically loot the place and run the place like almost like a Mad Max type of a deal. So yeah, seems pretty interesting. It also has competitive multiplayer, and it says, I'm seeing how many players it is. It's 8-player competitive multiplayer, and because I bought the game new, I actually got the FUBAR pack. Okay, so let's take a look at it. Spec Ops: The Line Premium Edition, a nice gold foil on the cover. An intense and unique war shooter, says IGN. Well, why do you have an IGN quote as the first thing on your box? That's kind of silly. But you open it up, there's your game disc, here's your instruction booklet. Surprisingly enough, the instruction booklet is in color, which I did not expect at all. Still pretty damn short. Explains the different game modes in the HUD, and that's about it. A little ad for Borderlands 2 there. Borderlands 2, coming September 18th. Pre-order now, but if you try to film any footage of it at any con or convention, we'll come and waterboard you, so you better not. Okay, anyway. So here's what comes with the FUBAR pack for buying it new. You get, camera's not focusing, so I'll just read it for you. Double experience for a week. AK-47 unlocks at rank 1, officer class gameplay bonuses, and it lists a whole bunch of those, and a clan accessory pack. So you get all that stuff for free if you buy the game new. Spec Ops: The Line. Then we've got The Amazing Spider-Man. Oh yeah! So this is the movie tie-in game that typically comes out every single time that there's a superhero movie. This year it's Amazing Spider-Man. This game, now here's a little bit of background. This game is, first of all, developed by Beanox Studios, okay? Beanox Studios is responsible for the past 2 Spider-Man games, including last year's, what the hell was it called? I can't even remember. It was the one with Spider-Man 2099 where there was time travel. How bad is it that I can't even remember what the name of it was? I guess that's how memorable it was. But the year before they had Shattered Dimensions. And Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions is actually my highest viewed playthrough of all time. Part 1 of that playthrough has over 2.5 million views on it, okay? In addition to that, a couple years before, one of the earliest semi-playthroughs that I did, it was actually before I was even doing full playthroughs of games, but I was just recording parts that I thought were interesting. Spider-Man Web of Shadows, which was not made by Beanox Studio, is, I think, my second highest viewed video, with just around 2 million views for the ending of that game. But yeah, Spider-Man has always been a big success for me, a big win, and I think it's because it's a combination of I know the character, I know the lore, I usually enjoy the games. Last year's was one exception where the one with the future bullshit really wasn't that good. But here's the thing. Now Beanox has now, within a span of a year and a half to almost not even 2 years, they've put out 3 Spider-Man games, and now I'm kind of concerned. Was it last year's outing that was rushed? You know what I mean? So that they could make this game? Or was this game rushed? But what everyone's saying is this game is it's back to the open world gameplay of Web of Shadows and Spider-Man 2 and all the best Spider-Man games. It's supposedly going back to that kind of web swinging, being able to go all throughout the city, and that's what it is. Also, a lot of people are afraid of this game because they're afraid of spoilers, okay? As you know, the Amazing Spider-Man movie is coming out on July 3rd, 2012 in the United States. It's 1 week from today, actually. And a lot of people are very concerned that this game will spoil the movie. From what I'm to understand, this game does spoil minor plot points of the movie, because this game actually takes place, I guess, sometime after the movie, like months or whatever after the movie ends. So, the answer is this. Yes, the game does spoil some plot points of the movie, but no, it doesn't completely spoil the movie because it takes place so further after that I guess it's not that big of a deal. But I'm going to talk a little bit about what I plan to do with this game in a little bit. But anyway, let's take a look at the game, okay? Your power, your choices, your playground. Spidey is back in Manhattan for the return of free-roaming, web-slinging action. Perform acrobatic attacks and stealth, blah, 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 blah. So, we'll see what happens with that. Amazing Spider-Man. Here's your game disc. Here's your instruction booklet, which is a whopping table of contents, control scheme, saving the game, and your heads-up display, and then it's the end of the instruction booklet. Okay? Pretty wimpy instruction booklet. It is important to note that because I pre-ordered at GameStop, I did get a code for Spider-Man, and the code, it says here, will unlock an exclusive Rhino challenge map. Am I ever going to actually go and play the challenge map? I don't know. Typically, I don't do that. That's more of just like repetitive gameplay for the sake of putting more gameplay in the game rather than adding to the story or the actual overall effect of the game. Alright, so that's that. What else came out this week? Well, today, the Mass Effect 3 DLC that adds to the ending of the game and supposedly gives it the true ending, because all the fans, as you know, when Mass Effect 3 came out in March, complained that the ending was not good enough. They said that's, for amount of time and effort, the amount of time we've been waiting to see the end of this trilogy of games, we're not satisfied with this ending. And so BioWare actually responded publicly and said, alright, we're going to do what the fans asked. We're going to release it completely for free DLC. It's not going to add any gameplay, but it will give a new light to the different endings. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play again today. So, well, I guess I should explain the schedule, okay? I'm going to belch. And what I'm going to do is right now, I'm actually going to download the patch, which I'm going to see how long it takes. It could be quite an endeavor now that I'm thinking about it. Because if everyone's trying to get the patch at once. But right now, I'm going to go download the Mass Effect 3 ending patch, okay? And what I'm going to do, this is a good suggestion by someone on my forum, so thank you for this suggestion. Since the gameplay of the game is going to be the same of what you saw in my Mass Effect 3 playthrough earlier this year, meaning what they have to do to actually get this ending DLC, you have to replay the final missions sequence, which means you have to attack the Cerberus base, then you have to go to Earth, you have to do the London sequence, and then you get to the ending where you pick your ending, okay? I'm going to put the difficulty of the game on narrative, which is the easy difficulty, so that rather than me getting stuck on the gameplay for 4 hours, especially because I haven't played the game in a while, I'm probably going to be rusty, it's going to be easy. So we're going to tear through the gameplay so we can get to the new ending, and we can see exactly what it is that we're in store for. The other thing is, a lot of people have contacted me and said, Phil, your galactic readiness, when you beat your game, it was like 2,900. Well, EA has come out, or BioWare has come out and said that you need a galactic readiness of 3,100 to get the best endings of the game and unlock all the cutscenes. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is jumping on the stupid multiplayer for like a half hour and play a couple matches. I'm probably not even going to record it because who needs to see the repetitive multiplayer again? But just to get my galactic readiness up enough so that when I do go to play, I do get the best endings, okay? So that's the first thing I'm doing today. I figure it'll take me a few hours. Depending on how long it takes me to beat the game, I may go through and do the other endings. Remember, there's 3 endings. There's 3 critical choices you make at the end of the game, and they can all affect what happens at the end of the game. So, depending on that, on what choices I make, it could give me a completely different ending. I don't know. But, I'm going to do it once, and then I'm going to see what happens, and then I'm going to possibly, if I can load from a checkpoint or redo it from a certain point, I'll probably go back and do the other endings as well. We'll see what happens with that. But that's my primary focus today. Then, based on how long that takes, I want to start Spec Ops The Line, okay? I've heard the campaign of Spec Ops The Line is about 5 hours long, so maybe it would be perfect for me to get like a taste of it today, you know what I mean? Play for an hour or two maybe, get some footage up, and then later, or tomorrow, jump into it full throttle, okay? The other major thing I need to announce is, unfortunately, it's more bad news regarding The Walking Dead from Telltale Games. And I really hope that people watch this video, because I always do, like last month, I I announced that, you know, I wasn't going to be able to play it because it wasn't coming out, and apparently no one listened because I got so many messages on Twitter and Facebook and on videos. When are you playing Walking Dead Episode 2? Well, it's not out yet, okay? Telltale Games was supposed to make this an episodic game, and in my opinion, when you tell me you're putting out an episodic game, at the least, you have to have a new episode every 2 months, okay? I'm not going to wait more than 2 months for an episodic thing, you know what I mean? And apparently Telltale Games, whatever, they felt the pressure. They released episode 1 of The Walking Dead way back in April, and then never gave a date on when episode 2 was coming out. Then all of a sudden, a couple weeks ago, it was announced The Walking Dead episode 2 would be coming out tomorrow. Okay, June 26th. Is it 26th or 27th? I think 27th actually. Yeah, June 27th. All of a sudden, on social media yesterday, some of whoever's in charge of the project or whatever started tweeting or posting up saying, I think our marketing department is completely out of their minds because the game's not ready yet and it's probably not going to be out for June. So here we are, 2 months after episode 1 of The Walking Dead. Episode 2 still isn't ready. In my opinion, that's a major disappointment. If you're going to sell a season pass to an episodic game, you had better fucking well have a schedule out so people know when they're going to get their content. In fact, there's already some controversy regarding what's going on with this game. I think there's rumors, I don't know if this is true, but there's rumors that Sony is actually going to give refunds out to people who are disappointed with the fact that this game is not coming out in any kind of relatively reasonable amount of time. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been hearing, that Sony is actually, has so many complaints from their customers that they're going to give season pass refunds. I don't know if that's true or not, but since that's the case, it sounds like Walking Dead Episode 2 isn't coming out this month. If it's not, that means I'm not playing it this week. So chances are it's not coming out. You're not going to see that gameplay. Nothing I can do about it. I apologize. You're going to have to wait until they finish the damn game, okay? But what that means is that since I'm doing Mass Effect 3 and then a little bit of Spec Ops today, tomorrow I'll probably continue with Spec Ops, okay, and try to beat the campaign. Then keep in mind we still got multiplayer, so later in the week, and once we figure out how long it takes me to do what I'm doing here, I will announce on Twitter, on Facebook, etc., if I'm going to do a multiplayer with the fans, because it is only 8-player multiplayer, which is kind of disappointing, so only 7 fans would get to play with me, but at the same time, well, fans simply seem to enjoy when I do multiplayer with them. So we'll see what happens. I may just do public multiplayer, or I may do a fan multiplayer. I will let everyone know later in the week. Okay? So that's that. And then on Thursday, just for those who didn't watch the week in preview, which apparently not many people did. It has very low views this week. I have the 25th anniversary special, it's 25th episode of Ask the King coming on Thursday. I'm going to be doing giveaways. I'm going to be giving away codes. In fact, I'm going to be giving away 1-month memberships to PlayStation Plus, where you can download entire free games like Infamous 2, like Just Cause 2, Virtua Fighter 5, and you're going to be able to play those for a month. So I'm sure you could beat those games within a month. So you're going to want to tune into that on Thursday. That's going to be paired with more gameplay of probably Spec Ops The Line, okay? So what are my plans for Spider-Man? Well, here's the thing. I don't want to spoil the movie, you know what I mean? I don't want to completely ruin the movie. A lot of people even contacted me and said, Phil, if you play Spider-Man this week, I'm not going to watch it because I don't want to spoil the movie for myself. Other people on the flip side have said, we really want to see the Spider-Man footage. We're dying to see it, and it would be a shame if you don't play it this week, and other people get their playthroughs up and you don't. So I'm debating what I'm going to do. Let me put it this way. I'm definitely playing Spec Ops The Line first and beating it and trying the multiplayer so I can review it. Then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do with Amazing Spider-Man, because let's be honest, I do have other stuff I can do. I got plenty of other stuff left over, things that people still want to see, things that people have been asking me for quite a long time. I still got an entire game called Sorcery for the PS Move I never touched. I still got Jak and Daxter 2 and 3. I still got Sly Cooper 2 and 3, although I don't actually own those. I would have to go buy them now that I'm thinking about it. I still got a Phoenix Wright case everyone's asking for. I've actually got a couple funny things up my sleeve that I would like to do. And so yeah, I've got a lot of stuff that I have potential I can do as filler until next week. Keep in mind, on Saturday I do co-op with John Rambo. That's going to be the same. We're going to be finishing Lego Batman 2. So there's possibility I may wait until next Tuesday to play The Amazing Spider-Man, but there's also a possibility that I will do it earlier than that. I'm gonna test the waters this week and feel it out and see what it feels like. Okay, so that's release day unboxing for June 26, 2012. 2 retail games, the Mass Effect 3 DLC I'm going to be doing today, And at some point, I will be, I'll be playing Spec Ops: The Line all week, and then possibly be playing Amazing Spider-Man later in the week. Thank you for watching. Thank you for bearing with the fact that it's 15 minutes long, because I'm more explaining my schedule than anything else. But unfortunately, when shit like this happens with Walking Dead, I have to kind of like find a way to talk about it. So this is kind of like my way to explain that to everyone. So anyway, thanks a lot. I'll see you for Mass Effect 3. I'll see you for Spec Ops: The Line. I will see you for gameplay. Have fun.